At only 15, Gav Heggs started his first motocross clinic in Perth, Western Australia, and during the flu cough pandemic, moved across the country, and now at 24 is running a successful motocross coaching clinic here in the Gold Coast. Hey guys, my name's Luke Sartor, and today I have my interview from my portrait session with Gavin Heggs. I was lucky enough to meet Gav when I reached out to him for my project Immortals, and he wasn't able to shoot with me on that day, but he invited me to his charity event Ride Safe, where I was lucky enough to interview J.O. Archer and Southie, who are two insane freestyle motocross riders, as well as some other influencers that were there. So I hope you enjoy this interview with Gav and find out his amazing story of how he went from up-and-coming motocross rider to now at such a young age running a successful business. Here's Gav.
Sorry, I just moved.
No, you're a good man.
Sliding off.
So yeah, bro, like, why do you do what you do?
I do what I do because growing up, obviously having a lot of mentors throughout my life, I looked up to a lot of them, and my path and career changed a little bit when reality hit with the racing side of things. And when I looked down to the path of what I enjoyed most about riding, it was probably just racing. Was probably, I don't know, it wasn't all that. It was, yes, it was fun, but at the end of the day, I think I had more fun riding and being able to do that safely. And I think there was a bridge and there was a gap there that I needed to bridge the gap with coaching for not only just professional athletes, but that lower level of rider as well. And I looked up to all the coaches I had, so bridging that gap for me was what I wanted to try and achieve, and seeing that there wasn't anyone doing that from the lower level to the top, no one that I'd heard of. So jumped down the path of that, and as well as trying to put together a few hobbies, stuff that I enjoyed, turned it into a business, and here we are.
Right. Unreal.
Yeah.
And to do that from such a young age, like, I can't believe you're so young. Like,
Yeah.
And you started that while you were still in school.
Yeah, I was running a business when I was in school. I pretty much got put on the sideline early. I was out with a massive crash, and for me, I wasn't able to ride for a long time, but I was able to be at the track, and I was able to think about how I could still be there and be involved without riding. Coaching was one thing, filming, photography was another thing, and helping other riders was what I liked doing. So I put all of that together, put a program together where I was able to use the photography and the filming to be able to help gain marketing attention for sponsors, and then helping riders with what I was getting from the sponsors, plus the coaching. And that was where I started when I was young, on the sideline with a broken wrist and fractured elbow and a broken nose. And so yeah, it was just something that fell into place. And then from there, I just carried it forward, and the path continued when I started getting busier with coaching. And I pretty much was forced to stop racing as much as what I was, because my training wasn't there as much. So I had to smarten up a little bit and take less of the risk with racing, and more of the smarter decision for taking the path of business, and also what I really actually enjoyed with the passion. So,
What did you mean by when reality hit? Is that as in crash or something else?
So more so, a lot of the younger kids these days are 15, 16 before they realise that this is the time where they need to be at their peak of the sport. A lot of the retired ages of motocross is 30, 40 years of age, and I was 15, 16 at the time, so that was where I should have been at the peak, and I'd already had a year off, missed the boat really. So you start to get to a point in life where you start going, all right, what do I do for a career? What do I do? What do I want to start to do as a job? And where's my life going to start to head? So that was my reality hit at that point of that crash, going, all right, what do I really want to achieve? What's realistic with it? And I just, like everyone says, take your time with it and everything like that. But I don't know, I don't really like taking my time, eh?
Yeah.
I just like trying to put my head down and go. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, one, that's like insane amount of maturity to have that real conversation at that age. Like,
Yeah.
no one coached you into saying that, or like that was kind of thing you just realised?
My parents always said become an engineer, and funny enough, I'm still finishing that off now. So like
Are you studying as well?
not studying as such, but I did a Cert 3 mechanical engineer apprenticeship. But yeah, I'm on my final stage of that. So I've been I left school year 11, I think, started year 11, started that as an apprenticeship and the business, was already cranking at that point. So I pretty much was, I'm now when I transitioned from Western Australia to here, it set me back a little bit. So I've had to try and reset the last couple of years with finishing that off, because I don't like starting something not finishing it. I might as well. So I've still got maybe a little bit left of that, but that was sort of what I was initially told that I needed to do, was get a trade and go down that path and go do this and that. And
as you're already successful with your coaching?
It was kicking off, it was starting to, but you know, like listening to a lot of business entrepreneurs and stuff like that, you always hear that you're going to get the backlash. You always hear about all of that, you know, negative stuff that comes along with running a business. Being so young, I was trying to rely a little bit on my parents for that support, but they never ran a business before, so they didn't know any better than to say, just get a trade, it's easier, do that. So it got to the point where I was like listening a little bit, but I was like, nah, hesitating. And I started doing both and finishing the trade and run the business still now, so.
Man, what the hell? And like, so you were running the business in Perth.
Yep.
Why did you bring it over here? Why did we move here?
So it's a bit of a long story short, but the sport's dying over there massively compared to here.
Yeah.
It comes from a variety of different things. The volunteer support's low. The network of people that are involved in the industry continuously rotating, so there's no, it's not just fluent throughout the business. There's always things changing, there's always things that never the same. Someone's, you know, and then I suppose the social media aspect of negative vibe backlash towards those volunteers in the sport, and then all of a sudden there's no one there that wants to help anymore. So there was quite a lot of the social media ranting and all that sort of thing that was letting it down quite a lot, and then numbers were dropping, and it was a flow-on effect, and I could see each race you'd go to there'd be 5 less people on the line, and I suppose there's less people also because over there's no ride parks, there's no social riding. So I could see straight away that over here they have more ride parks, they have more of the social riding aspect. There's a larger community over here. The professional side of things, there's 6, 8 nationals, depending on the year. It's all here.
Yeah.
So they get once in a blue moon in Western Australia, and I suppose I just knew that where my target audience was, and I just followed it. So.
Right. Sick. How old were you when you made that move?
2 years ago now, so it was mid-COVID. Got stuck here. Didn't choose to.
Great time to be starting a new business where you need to be with people.
Yeah. Well, originally, I came here for one coaching clinic, unsure whether or not I was going to stay here. I had a suitcase and that was it. And then restrictions from the border closures was like, pretty much I had to choose if I wanted to be here for the whole entire time and just start from scratch again, or did I want to go back home and go between the two and just see how we tested the waters a little bit with the whole change and moving businesses over. And then I was just pretty much just called parents up back home, sell my stuff, I'm staying. I was stuck here, so yeah, that's how it landed, and contacts, and I knew I had to put my head down and go down the right path of being able to try and just spread myself far and wide with it. And started with one park, Willowbank MX, and he grew my contact network and helped me a lot with that. But I tried to make sure that I wasn't restricted to the one area, and branched off into some other parks and working with other people, and it just sort of just snowballed from there. So.
Dude, what the hell? I thought I was going to ask some. I got two other questions that I ask everyone.
Yeah,
And I thought I was going to ask a different set of questions, but I'm going to change that.
yeah.
Probably, especially finding out you're so young. What are you working on at the moment that you're excited about?
I've got 6, 7 projects on the pipeline at the moment that I've just been warming up with, and over the period of my study plus, well, the apprenticeship and this with Twisted Moto, it's sort of just been like put on hold a little bit. So I'm excited for probably the next year. I've got 2 units left to get that trade knocked over. I'm at the point now where I'm nearly full time with what I do with Twisted Moto, and I'm just excited to be able to try and put all my attention to that and watch those 6 or 7 projects just unfold, because it's been a long time coming. That I suppose having the planning process there, but not enough time to be able to put them into place is.
Can you share any of them?
Yeah, some of them are international trips where there's quite a lot of coaching that I've been asked of in other countries. So yeah, there's things there that have grown because of the social media side of things for me, and being able to travel and coach in other countries was one of them. And that just come from the network of TikTok. So yeah, pretty much there's one project that I've been working on for a little bit with a guy in America. So he's got the holiday package type thing where he'll offer like it's like a vacation type thing where you go there, you stay there, he takes you around to the tracks, he introduces you to the professional riders, and he takes you to the factory workshops and all that sort of thing. And he wanted to add value to that, and he thought by adding coaching into that for him was going to just boost what he's doing a little bit in the offer of what he could put together with a package. So just been back and forward for the last year with that. So hopefully next year that's on the go.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
In States?
So he's based around California. So yeah, we'll be hopefully going over there. I don't know where his like HQ is, but Cali somewhere, yeah. And I know he takes everyone to like the Glen Helen track, Fox Raceway, all that. You know, the iconic ones that everyone knows of. But I'm still foreign to a lot of that. I haven't been anywhere other than here, Indonesia, and Western Australia. So Indonesia's one that I'll be going to next month, coaching there. So.
Cool. And is that coaching like locals or holiday goers or?
I don't know what the audience type is, because the guy that I'm in contact with over there organises a lot of that. He just gets me over to run the show, so he will. Yeah. It was more of a planning time though, because we had rain for the 2 weeks I was there, and we didn't get to actually ride. So we just planned a little bit on the first trip, and then yeah. So this one, hopefully next month, is actually this month, July 20th. I'll be heading over there and actually doing some riding and coaching. So.
Sick, man.
Yeah, it should be good. Just now trying to spread it a little further than just the one location is probably my main goal. So little projects on the go here and there with other things, but I think they're the 2 main ones that.
Yeah, little projects. But that stage one is friggin' sick, man.
Yeah, they're the biggest ones that I think are probably the most obvious that I can, just expose a little bit of. So, but yeah, bit going on.
What would you tell your younger self?
Just let it all flow. Just keep going with it. Just let it all unfold. Like I always had a grudge against myself for not having things go how I want it to. But it's a bit of a cringy statement that everyone mentions. It is how it, everything happens for a reason, and that is what it is. You just keep going with it. And I always was like, nah, like I need to fix it. I need to change this or do something else. And I suppose if I just gave myself a little bit of a slack and just let it all happen, you start to realise like that it does happen for a reason, and those patterns start to fall into place a little bit more with business, work, family, people that you surround yourself with. You start to see it more and more, and I just wish I sort of realised that a little earlier before I started holding people. I suppose that, you know, the same thing, everything happens for a reason, but you wouldn't have learnt those lessons if it didn't. So yeah, I don't know, it's just one of those things where let it happen, let it go.
What? Okay, you said your parents aren't business owners or entrepreneurial in any way. How the hell? Where did it come from then? Like, what?
I don't know, I think I might have just picked up some sort of struggle that they went through from the everyday 9 to 5, and I mean, my dad, he had a little bit, I suppose. Like, I didn't see too much of it because it was probably before my time, but I just remember seeing this little project in his shed that he made that he said he wished he put a painting on because now it's a big thing, and he didn't pursue it. He never went forward with it. Apart from that, yeah, it was probably just the struggle of watching them going through, you know, trying to pay bills and trying to look after us kids and that. And yeah, I think seeing all of that, I thought, well, what else can I do for myself that's not going to put me in that situation? And I tried to educate myself a lot on entrepreneurs and business owners, and being surrounded with a couple of role models in that area, my uncle, people I worked for. I sort of seen, okay, here's another option, there's another path, and then I think that's sort of what sparked it a little bit. So
Who's your first sort of like what's the right word? Like business influencer, entrepreneur that's on social media promoting that kind of thing that you get a lot of value from?
All on equal parts because they're all on different areas of business. I first of all, I suppose the first one that I listen to podcasts a lot. The first one, Gary Vee.
Oh yeah.
I listened to him a little bit, more so on the social media side of things, just trying to gain an understanding for marketing and the way that the algorithms move and all that sort of stuff. Tony Robbins was a little bit. There was just some basic business stuff. There was multiple names are slipping at the moment, but yeah, I think just
Gary's a massive one. Like,
he's very just entrepreneurial. Like he's got a lot of different things that he's very smart with, and the way that he carries himself and his values and everything. I think I listened to majority of his podcasts, and then Tony Robbins I listened to a little bit. There was quite a few, like I just sort of listened to glimpses of, which is probably why the names slip a little bit, but he was one of the main ones. And
then who you've had a couple of mentors. Do you have any at the moment?
Locally, I try to surround myself with the right people now, because they're the people that they're your 5 currencies, those people. So like people like Matty, for example, like the things that he's achieved with, you know, Fast House, Gold Coast Studio. He's got 2 things going at once, like, and you know, he's got the history of Nitro and Krusty's, like Sam Moore. He's got Fist, Dry Times, a couple of other things going at once. Like, all those people are local, and when it wasn't until I got here where I started to try to be more around those types of people, because then you start to see the way they move and the way they do things up in close in person, and that reflects on stuff that you do, and you can go, oh yeah, I can do that now, like, because I know I've seen that person do it. Otherwise you're searching for it a little harder through social media, the internet, or educating yourself. It's easy if you've got the other people doing it around you, you can just have it right in front of your face. But also you see your friends also, you sort of, you catch little things off of them that they do, and you can start to see patterns a lot. And I use them as mentors too, because they might be doing something different, like, and that's the kind of mentor that I look at now. Still with the mentoring of podcasts and stuff like that is it's cool, but more so the friends that I surround myself with.
Absolutely.
So.
Fuck, man. So sick. What? I want you to introduce yourself again, except more so like what you believe is like who you are, because like obviously you're a coach. You've been successful and done these things, but there's a reason that's been successful.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe that is people's beliefs and who they are. It's like I'm Gavin Heggs.
I'm Gavin Heggs, and I'm a mentor, coach, and ambassador, I suppose. Like, it's, you know, one of those things where you've got multiple, an entrepreneur, you suppose you could say. There's multiple things there that have different areas of what I do, but the
Also,
success rate of,
if I interrupt,
yeah.
you go like more so like I'm Gavin Heggs, and you kind of led with it really well. Of like, I want to help people enjoy the sport motocross, you know.
Yeah. So I'm Gavin Heggs, and I want to help people enjoy the sport of motocross.
Cool.
It's easy.
Steal my words,
Yeah.
whatever, but
Oh, well, that's
what I got from what you said at the start. Was
yeah.
like, why you do what you do.
Yeah.
Like just narrow it down though to a.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's exactly, you know, my aim is in that area. So I suppose like being within those other niches is like such a broad thing. So narrowing that down is exactly what you said. So that's why, yeah, it's like, steal that.
That's good, bro.
Because those like.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if you learned anything, and also let me know who I should interview next. If you haven't checked it out yet, check out my other interview that I did with David from Done Digital, where we talk about all the must-dos with small business marketing. I'll see you next time. Cheers.